host has disabled the attendees from sharing. Okay, so, uh-oh.
One participant can share at a time. You should be able to.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're able to.
Not right now.
All right, try now. Who can share? All participants. Okay, definitely.
Can you see my slide now?
I see it.
All righty.
All right. So you're able to share, so we're good to go.
Excuse the noise in the background.
Oh, I see the baby.
Everybody's home. The kids are also here to present with me as well. So unfortunately, if you hear any other extra voices, I'll try to do my best to get the kids together. But I'm just so grateful to have this time so we can all share and then know how to manage our time very wisely, because time is of the essence. Without time, we can't do anything. And when we lose our time, we cannot retrieve it back. So therefore, I'm so excited, first of all, to present this to us so we can all learn. As Lady B Bless rightfully did say, I'm Patience Roberts, a mother, entrepreneur, philanthropist. I wear so many hats. I recently just added gardening to my resume, I would say, and it's doing wonderful. It's doing wonderful. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about the importance of, let me fix this thing quickly. The importance of time management today. And we all know that time, if you lose time, you can't retrieve it. And therefore, I have a quote that I usually go by that it says what? A man who dares to waste 1 hour of life has not discovered the value of life. This speaks so much to me, you know, because if you have hours, sometimes, most of the time we sit here and then we will say, you know, we have time, we can do this today, we can do that tomorrow, and we procrastinate. Procrastination nowadays is something that people just wear it as clothes because they think they have time, but left alone that time just run. You sit here, you think you have an hour or two before you realize time just go by so quickly. So this quote actually really speaks so dear to me because we have to make good use of our time. You know, I want to move on to the next slide here. So our objective today, we're going to talk about what is time management, okay? We're also going to talk about why time management is important. Why time management is important to us. And then the 3 aspects of time management. So I'm going to go on and then say that time, we know it's the ability that we have to do certain things, okay? Certain things that's, you know, taking care of our children, taking care of our work, prioritizing, making sure that things that we want to do are being done on a timely manner. Because if we don't have the time to do it, we cannot do anything. So I would say that for the most part, we have to prioritize how we use our time wisely. I talk about the key to effective time management, knowing how to evaluate and complete tasks in order to have the importance of things. If you don't know how to prioritize, you can never achieve anything. You'll be running around, everything will be bombarded at one time because you're not able to prioritize. Recognize what you want to do first. So sometimes there's so many things that we want to do at one time. Most of the times we have our homework as a student, as an entrepreneur, you have other businesses that you have to run, you have meetings that you have to run. But we also find ourselves sitting down and then somebody will call us on the phone and we will pick up the phone. Hello. It's okay to us. Before you hang up, that somebody else will call you right away. So before you realize the end of the day, your time is gone. You cannot retrieve your time back, you know? We have to find a way where we pace ourselves. Find a good steady area if you're a student. Find a good study area where you can control that environment. Excuse me. You can control that environment. If you control that environment, you know that when somebody is calling you, you can put your phone on the silent. You can mute your phone. So you can do whatever you have to do. As a student, you can complete your homework. As an entrepreneur, you can complete that phone call. You can complete that task that you have to do before you go back to that chaos that we have in the outside world, you know, because time is of the essence. I'm going to keep stressing time is of the essence simply because we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. Now, I also would say that learn to say no. Majority of us don't know how to say no. Once upon a time, patients did not know how to say no. Somebody would ask me, I would say flashback when I used to be a student. I will have homeworks to do. I will have projects to complete. And somebody would say, or my colleague would ask me to complete a task for them, and I would leave everything that I have to do and go assist them with whatever they have to do. Now that leads me to what happened to my time to do my projects? What happened to my time to, you know, take care of my duties? I didn't have that time. So you have to learn how to say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, not at this moment. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next following, you know, day. It's okay because they cannot hold you to it. You come first. If you don't have you wouldn't be able to complete whatever their task is. So it's perfectly okay to say no in every situation that you get. You know, protect and plan, you know, and then don't spread yourself too thin. Majority of us will spread ourselves too thin. When you spread yourself too thin, you know that, you know, you wouldn't be able to do anything because you have divided yourself into so many different areas. Everybody needs your attention to complete something. So when you find yourself at that moment in time that everybody's looking for your attention and needing you, just say, I'm sorry, not right now. Let me complete this first. Let me finish what I have to do, and then I will get back to you. Perfectly okay to do that. Let's move on. How to manage your time effectively. I know my slides is a little bit of a, so bear with me here. The best way to accomplish this is 3 major things here, okay? I will say that manage your time system consistently in the process way. It can be a tool way, it can be a technique, or a method in which you improve your time. This can be in a way where you will it will help you save so much time if you are able to implement by using an effective way to talking to people. Like, let's say somebody would give you a call. Somebody give you a call. It's okay to give them a time and say, hey, I do have to complete a task, so I'm gonna be able to talk for 10 minutes. Or I'll be able to talk for 20 minutes, or whatever time that you think you have to talk or to communicate with anybody on the line. Sorry. You know, so it's perfectly okay that we have system in place to help us to achieve our goals. Because if we don't have that time, we will not be able to achieve our goals. If you are a business owner, I will say, or manage a company, it is important to utilize a time system, okay? Hope to improve your business. Implementing and then scheduling softwares. There's so many softwares out there that can help you. Calendars can be a good, perfect way to manage your time. You can put in your calendars, 5 o'clock, I have a meeting. 2 o'clock, I have this. 7 o'clock, I have that. That is a good tool to use, okay? And then it helps you with productivity, because most time we will stay there from morning to evening, nothing work done at 0, because we were not able to manage our time effectively. So I will encourage everybody to manage our time very well. If you don't have a calendar, it's the best tool to use. You can put it on your phone. Thanks to technology, nowadays we can put everything on our phone. And the phone is becoming our best friends now. You even sleep with your phone sometimes. So you can utilize that system to let it work for you, okay? If you have a computer also have a section where you can input your calendar, you can input everything that you have on there. Apps nowadays, there's so many different apps to help you manage your time, help you manage your life, help you manage everything. So there's no reason, there's no excuse at all, you know, in managing our time, because what? Time is of the essence. Let's move on. Okay, now let's talk about why time is important. Time is important and it's very limited, like I keep saying. No matter how you slice it, there's only 24 hours in a day. So within that 24 hours in a day, if you have a date at night, probably like 7 o'clock, those of us that want to, you know, enjoy time a little bit, those of us that have businesses, those of us that have children, those of us that are students, and those of us that, you know, you want to have a little downtime for yourself. Being that we only have 24 hours, it's essential to limit yourself in a way to have more time for you. I say that because if we don't say no, we wouldn't have that 24 hours. For example, somebody will call you. You spend, if you have 24 hours, you spend 4 hours on the phone just chit-chatting and, you know, oh, girl, let's catch up. You know, it's been a while. I haven't seen you, you know.
Like you and I.
Thank you.
4 hours.
You know, we would spend some time talking about what is our favorite show again? 90 Days.
90 Days Fiancé. Just wasting our time.
Yes, but those times, we also use those time too, to chit chat and also update ourselves in what is going on in real time. Because we will talk about how best we can improve our organization, how best we can utilize our time, how best, companies out there that's giving free grants and free money. We talk about all that, you know, so in a way, we're able to utilize our time. So as an individual, if you don't know how to utilize your time, you spend 4 hours on the phone just chit-chatting with a girlfriend, that is not giving you any idea, you know, that is not giving you any guidelines to your business, to your education, to things that can benefit you. Work done is zero. Within that 24 hours, 4 hours is already gone. Now, if you are a wife, you have to cook. That alone, African good food, thank you, will spend how many hours? Probably 2 or 3, 4 hours cooking, because our food takes a long time. So within that 24 hours, you already cut off, 8 hours is gone. Now, you will come serving your husband, serving your children, taking care of all that. Now, before you realize, at the end of the day, work done is zero. You weren't able to do anything. You didn't achieve anything. You couldn't do anything. So it leaves out with what? Nothing done. That's why you have to be able to say no, to be able to limit your time with other people. Now let's move on to how to achieve, you know, how to accomplish more with less. There's a fairy quote that says less is more. You know, with less being more, if you have less time, you know how to manage it. If you have less time, you prioritize your time very wisely. If you have less time, if you have 5 hours, you will know that I have to wake up and then get myself together for my business. I have to get myself together for my children. I have to get myself together so I can complete the tasks and then still have time for me. Because if you don't have time for me, you will work and work and work and overwork yourself. And later on, you just drain. So it's always good to have less is more. Improve the decision of making, okay? Improve decision making, have the ability where, like I was saying before, that tools and softwares that can help us, you know? If you have those tools in place for you, it's very easy, okay? Whether you rely on time crunching techniques or discover the power of making a difference, you'll soon find out that time goes by so quickly, okay? When you feel pressured for time and having to make a decision, you more than likely jump into conclusion very quickly. Jumping into conclusion and not thinking thoroughly of things that you have to do and how it's going to affect you. It's unfortunately that it's a waste of time, because when you jump into conclusion later on in time, you ask yourself, why did I do that? Because it comes out with nothing. Work done becomes zero again, you know? So it's always best that you lead to, and also leads to a poor decision in life. Though effective time management, you cannot eliminate the pressure that is involved with that, but you have the ability to control your environment. You have the ability to calm yourself down. You have the ability to overcome it. So it's always best to enjoy your time and then have it to yourself. Somebody will say that have your cake and eat it too. You know, it's always good. You know, so I would say that when you have the ability, do not diminish yourself in a way, but rather make good decisions with your time, okay? I will also say that, let's move on to that slide. Be more successful in your career. Time management is a key to success. We've all heard of that quote and all that statement, because without time, we wouldn't be existent. Without time, we wouldn't be able to do anything, okay? So it allows you to control your life rather than following other people. Like I said before, if you prioritize yourself and putting things in place, you will never be a follower, because it decreases that time of you having an empty schedule for the whole day, and somebody will call you, you say, hey, let's go. Somebody will call you and you just jump into it. It decreases all that for you. As you accomplish more in a day, make a sound decision and feel free to control people and let them people know that I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to do that today. You know, leaders in your business will come to you and ask you for certain things. If you're able to do it, it's fine. We all know that in our workplaces, there's deadlines for everything, and deadlines is time. So without you prioritizing, without you not, limiting yourself for you to gain more time for you, you wouldn't be able to achieve anything. And also, I will say that, and in the increase of exposure, it will help you to advance in your career. So let's just have that in mind. I would say that another point will be learning opportunities are always everywhere. It's okay if you don't know how to manage your time, you can always ask. There's so many different seminars, there's so many different online. Even if you go to Google can be your teacher. YouTube can be your teacher, because there's a University of Google, there's University of YouTube. YouTube can teach you everything from A to Z, so there's no excuse to life. There's no excuse to not knowing how to do certain things. So if you a young person, even if you are adult, and throughout your whole entire adult life, if you let certain things slide all day, now is the time to take charge of your life. Now is the time to take charge of your time. Now is the time to make good use of it, because time is of the essence. Time is very limited. Without time, work done is zero. I keep saying work done is zero because you will amount to nothing. Time will start from hours, from minutes, seconds, minutes, hours, and then it jumps to months, years, and we still have nothing done. And you will see another colleague that has accomplished so much in life, and you are the standstill, and you ask yourself, what happened? What did I do? What, and then did you forget that you were on the phone for every 5 hours each day? Did you forget that you used to just sit there and then watch African movie all day? Did you forget that you couldn't figure out what you want to do to yourself? You know, African movies are great. Don't get me wrong. I love my African movies. Okay.
I love them too.
But you can limit it. You can have a specific time for that. A perfect time will be all things that you've done in the morning. You've gone to work, achieve majority of what you want to do. Your downtime can be your African movie time with the family and relax. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You can watch back-to-back Lifetime movies. There's nothing wrong with that, because you know what? You have achieved something within that 24 hours. You have achieved something within that 12 hours in time frame also, you know. So always ask yourself and have it in the back of your mind that within that 24 hours or within that 12 hours, because the 12 hours that you use that to sleep, if anything, you know, it's always advisable. Doctors advise us to have 8 hours of sleep. So if you have 8 hours of sleep, let's do the math here. You know, you have enough time. So if you have 12 hours, if you know that, okay, I'm a business owner, I went to work, productivity at work was awesome. I came back home, I cooked, I cleaned, I did whatever. It's okay to pamper yourself and have a good afternoon, have a good evening with your spouse, your significant other, your children, whatever it may be, even if it's just you. Just enjoy yourself and sit there and watch back-to-back some movies for you, because you know, pat yourself on the back and say, I did really good today. You know, it's perfectly okay with that. Now, if you just join us, we're talking about time management, how to manage our time, how to control our time, how to calm down our time, and how to be able to do certain things with our time, be effective with our time, you know. So let's jump on to another point here that it says, I'm so sorry, my I had a rough time today with this my PowerPoint, because everything kept getting lost coming in, and so unfortunately it seems so small, so bear with me if it's so tiny to read with me, but I'm just gonna keep talking about it. But if you do have any questions, or if you do have any suggestions or anything, just chime in. I'll be done so we can all chime in and then talk together about the effective of time and how we all manage our time.
Yeah, I've put it in the chat. If anyone has any question, they could just drop it into the chat box or just hold it until the presentation is done.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty. So I would also, let's talk about reducing stress. A lot of times when we're very, very challenged or we're very pressed with time, we get all anxious, we get all depressed, we get all stressed out. All that can also limit your quality of life also. Stress can lead to so many things in our lives, which we don't want that, you know? So if you manage your time wisely, it will reduce stress, it will reduce anxiety, it will reduce certain things that our body cannot take. When you don't have to control, you don't have to control your time. If you don't have time to control anything, it's always easy to end up feeling so rushed up or overwhelmed with certain things. And when it happens that way, it's very hard to figure out how long it's going to be to complete a task. A task can be, you know, we all know certain things that at the end of the day, what we have to do, you know. So different tasks, for example, can be completing, because I have conferences that I have to do, you know, that's a huge task that I have to complete, you know. So I look forward to that. With that, I prepare, go over certain notes, make sure that everything is done, you know, before you go, because in that nickel of a time, which you don't have, things can go wrong. A perfect example was this afternoon. I couldn't even log on to my Zoom because Zoom is telling me I have to update, you know, which was pressing me with time. Another example was my slides were not, you know, up to par because it kept crashing. It also limits with time because it's 3 o'clock and I have to present. That's a perfect example because we ran out of time. You don't have the time to fix anything, you know. So it's always good for us to be conscious of time, to know how to use our time, that time will not lead to stress on us. It will not lead to anxiety on us. It will not lead to us feel worried or feeling some kind of way because we did not utilize our time wisely. You know, time is of the essence and time is of the importance. I will lead on to also saying that everyone needs time to relax, to wind down. Unfortunately, though, many of us don't have enough time, between juggling work, family, other responsibilities, doing errands and keeping up with the house chores and, mowing our lawn and all that, and then even sneaking a little time to see what is going on, update with Corona, with with whatever is going on now, we still have to know how to manage it, and then finding time, having a good time management skills will help you find time. It's ironic because if you are able to manage your time wisely, you end up having a lot of time left later on in the evening or so to do whatever you want to do. If we say, like I keep stressing that, if we get the chance to sit on the phone and talk and then surf the net for also 5 hours and do this and do all that time, a friend calling us, we don't have that time to wind down at nighttime. Before you realize it's 8:00 p.m. and you have to be cooking, you have to be cleaning, you have to be doing all sorts of things. We don't have that time. You see yourself going to sleep at 12:00 a.m. and then you wake up again, let's say, 6:00, if you have to wake up 6:00 in the morning. It's a cycle thing. If you don't have enough rest, you wouldn't be able to have enough time to sleep. You wake up stressed out. You wake up feeling like, what just happened here? You are tired because you did not utilize your time wisely and your time became stressed on you. It just made you feel some kind of way. Because we all know that if we don't have enough time to sleep, you wake up feeling so bad and not in a good mood at all, So it's always good to have a good time management skills to help you find time. When you are busy, you're getting more done. You're not getting more done. You can accumulate extra time throughout your day when you find or use your time wisely and have time to wind down, have time to relax, and later on prepare for a good night's sleep. Because if you don't get a good night's sleep, it's a cycle. It will lead on to the next morning and next day and all that. And it's a stress on your physical body, so it's not good. I'll also go on and talk about what self-discipline is a value. Self-discipline is a value. We have to know how to discipline ourselves. If we cannot discipline ourselves, work done again is what? Zero. Because if we don't discipline ourselves, we cannot move forward. If we don't discipline ourselves, we don't practice good management. We don't practice good time skills. If we don't practice ourselves, we leave with procrastination because we didn't do the task that we're supposed to do, so we push it to the next day. That's procrastination. And then the next day, we push it to the next day. We keep pushing it until we realize that, you know what, forget it. I'm not even gonna do it, So then you go back to zero. You see your other colleagues, they're doing great. And then you keep asking yourself, what happened to me? Know how to manage your time. Time is of the essence. So just to round down a little bit, we've talked about what is it called? Time is limited. Our time is limited. We've talked about how you can accomplish something, more effectively with less time. We've talked about improving decision making. We also talked about being more successful in your career with your time management. We talked about learning opportunities that are out there, which is your tablets, your computers, your softwares, different apps that we can use to manage our time. That's what we talked about. We also talk about how you can reduce stress using time management. We also talked about having free time for yourself because it's of the essence, you know. And we also talked about self-discipline is what valuable. It's valuable to life. If you don't have self-discipline, you wouldn't have value, you know. So self-discipline is very a key to self-management. Let's move on also to talk about the definition of time management. I want you all to chip in now, you know, so we can all talk about this, because my ideas to time management might be a little different from your ideas to time management, you know. My idea of prioritizing things might be different from the way you prioritize your things, you know. So I want to give everybody the opportunity to chime in, and then let's just discuss.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and unmute people. And those that want to speak, make sure you unmute yourself so you'll have the opportunity. Now you're on mute from my side. So if you would like to speak, just go ahead. The question on the board is, what is your, it changed.
Let's go back.
What's your definition of time management? Well, I'm going to start right here. I was lousy with time management. I really was. And because we are doers, like Patience says, we are doers. When people come and ask us to do things, we don't say no. It's always like, okay, yes, 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 yes. So for me, the first aspect of learning to manage my time was saying no. And not only saying no, sticking to the no. Like we'll say no and they'll ask like 3-4 times and we'll be like, oh, okay, no. You have to stick to your no, because then people have to respect your time. And a lot of people don't respect your time if you're always giving it to them. They feel like you have it to give. So you become a giver of time. You can never get that time back. So I was always giving people my time. And by the end of the day, my projects will suffer. And I work a lot with Africa, and I'm in the United States, and my time zone is different. So like Ghana is 4 hours, Nigeria is 5 hours, Zimbabwe is 7 hours, South Africa is 7 hours. So I found not only was I giving up my time, I was giving up my sleep. You see, so as Patience said, these things are very important. So my definition of time management starts with just saying no to giving up your time.
That's good. Anybody else has any something else to share, how they manage their time, and how you can even share how time went against you, you know?
If anyone wants to speak, you have to unmute your mic. If not, just move on.
Okay. So let's talk about let's talk about 3 major aspects of time management. We already dived into certain priorities, okay, between different activities that we have, because as individuals, we all are valuable. Therefore, people are seeking for our time. We all are valuable because we have to go to work, feed our family. We also have businesses. We also have different things that we have to do. You know, our number one thing is caring for my number one thing, right? I'll say it's my kids, because 24 Lady B will tell you those kids just
they just took all your time.
Okay?
Lady B, I don't have time for you anymore.
You know, because consistently they need my time. They need my time. And thanks to Corona, everybody's home, and I have to manage that. Be a wife, be an entrepreneur, making sure that my work is done, focusing on it. I mean, everybody's needing my time. So I have to make sure that I prioritize my time very wisely. You know, like I would say that, like, currently I have to update my website, and I'm not even able to do that because there's so much in a day that I have to do, you know. So it's so tough. But if we know how to manage it, prioritize, get a calendar, Put it on there. 2:00, I have a meeting. 4:00, I have to go pick up this kid from school. 6:00, I have to make dinner. 7:00, wind down for me. Wind down time for me. It will be great. You know, it's easier said than done, but it's achievable if we able to put certain things. It's always good to put things on paper. If you put things on the paper, you will be able to what? Go back to it and refer and say, hey, I know I put that 3:00, I want to do this. 7:00, I want to be relaxed and be, if you want to enjoy your African time, movies, it's perfectly okay, you know? So it's always good to do that, you know? Also, certain deadlines. Deadlines are big and huge things. Deadlines can drain us if you don't set deadlines. Deadlines can lead you to missing a very important mission in your life. If you don't set deadlines, you will not progress. Let's say if you are a student, or if you are an entrepreneur, or if you're a mother, let's just use even a mother for example. If you don't set deadlines for your children's homework, if you don't set deadlines for, completing a tax, paying a bill, different things that we have to, if you don't set deadlines to that, you see that one, if you don't pay your bill on time, you accumulate, that interest. That alone, okay, can add up to your bill, and that can increase give you a bad credit score if you're in America. All that time that you're not paying your bill on time, they keep adding that, financial charges, and before you realize, your credit score or whatever it is can go bad. Okay? If you don't set time deadlines, you wouldn't be able to meet a specific, like let's say it's a scholarship that you have to help your child apply to it. If you don't set that time and say, hey, I'm going to use this XYZ time to manage it, to apply, to look at the deadline that I have for that child, scholarship application, you wouldn't be able to, achieve that, and you wouldn't be able to win that scholarship for your child. Extra money to a child's pocket is awesome, FYI, Pennies is offering a scholarship for any first time student going to college. So if you know of anybody that is going into college that needs that extra cash to help them, feel free. Our website, I will give Lady B Bless all the information. You can go on our website so you can look at it, apply for your child if they have to go to college. If the first time, the other criteria is there, you can look at it and then you can apply.
Is it U.S. or international, please?
Currently, it's just international. It's the U.S., but very soon we're going to make opportunities for other people, international, so they can apply towards the scholarship. We will find different means of ways to make it available for international as well.
Okay.
If you live in the United States, and if you do have your child going to college for the first year, please do not hesitate. Go on our website, www.penniesmakeadime.org, and apply. If you go to under our educational tab, it's there, apply, okay? And you can utilize that money. It's extra income. It doesn't hurt to have that in your account, okay? Also, I would say reduce time spent on non-prioritized things. Reduce time spent on non-prioritized things. So if you have to finish a project, you want to know that, that project is done before you go be on the phone for X amount of time. You go be sitting on your TV, just watching back-to-back 90 days, which is so good right now.
I swear.
You
can tell where we waste our time at. You guys, I love 90 Days, okay? If those of you who don't know what 90 Days is, it's a show that actually...
And actually, like people that, like say, people that are, I mean, United States will go somewhere, you know, different countries, like to marry,
Nigeria.
Nigeria specifically, if they, I mean, Ghana, wherever, you know.
Please
And
don't put Ghana in that. Never.
and then they'll bring their significant other to America. But within that time, United States give you 90 days. Okay, 90 days when your significant other comes to the country, marry them, have their status saying that what they are a United States what permanent resident.
No, they have to marry them, then apply.
Oh, marry them then and apply. Okay,
Yeah, you
perfect.
have 90 days to marry them or else they have to leave.
Yes, after 90 days and you guys not married, I'm sorry, your significant other is
You
going
gotta
back.
go.
Okay. That
And
show is
it's
so good.
before the 90 days and the night, it's crazy, but it's a good time waster.
It's true. But if you prioritize your time and you have done everything on your checklist,
Sunday
that can
night.
be your wind down time. Okay. Sunday at 9 o'clock. One.
My
Relax.
patience is 90-day time.
Yes. Thank you. 90 days time. Let's go. You and your spouse, your children can just relax and have that quality of time, you know, to your side. It does not hurt to have that time because your tasks that you have to do from morning to evening is what accomplished.
It's
You can
done.
relax and
Hi.
enjoy
Hi,
yourself.
this is Bukola.
Hi,
I just
Bukola.
wanted to, how are you?
I'm
Good
good.
conversation.
Wonderful. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So I wanted to share something that I know affects me personally, which is that time management because I have a lot going on. But I've found in recent times that when I write a checklist, it makes me focus on what is next. And the more I cross it out, then the more accomplished I feel. So I just wanted to encourage us to build that discipline of writing down the things we need to do. I was very much the type that I would just put everything in my head and tell myself I'll get to it. And because I'm only human, I'll forget half of it. And at the end of the day, I feel very bad that I didn't get to everything. My husband is he's more structured, and I will see him write his notes and he'll get to it. And I decided to try it. And I find that even for my 9 to 5 job, it's helping me because as I'm finishing one thing, I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do? My mind just doesn't wander. And as entrepreneurs, I know that one of the things that suck up our time is we daydream all day. Like you're daydreaming about what could be, and you're still not doing what is at hand. So it's just good to point out, being that we're entrepreneurs, our energy gets sucked up by things that we think are productive, but in actual fact, they derail us for us. As a mother, I also watch my daughter. She's exactly like me. You give her something to do, she first thinks of how to make it so pretty to impress you that she doesn't even get to the task. Like 1 hour later, what are you doing? Oh, I was just thinking about this and that. So it's good for us to think about those things in time management perspective and not just think that when we're talking time management is that, oh, you're just strolling around, you're not doing anything.
Right.
For real, we feel like we're doing something, but in actual fact, nothing is getting done.
Thank you, Bukola. Where you chatting from?
I'm from Charlotte here.
Is this Cubics?
Yes.
I didn't recognize the name.
Well, that's my kids use the Zoom for school, so I have to change the name for every meeting, and I forgot to.
Oh, it's okay. Well, thank you for joining us. And she runs a African fabric shop here in Charlotte. Fabulous, fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for chiming in. And it's very true. If we don't write things down, it's okay to have it in your head, but you will forget. You will forget before you realize the day has gone by and you did not accomplish what you thought you had in your head to do, you know? So it's always okay, perfect okay. Like going to the grocery. My husband is big on having a grocery list. you know? So when you come back, you know, everything is checked and you did not purchase extra something, you know? So if you have that list, you have like a vision. Okay, fine. I want to purchase this XYZ. You come back home with that XYZ. But if you don't make a list, the days that I don't make lists, oh boy, my grocery cart, it was full of things that I wasn't, you know, I don't need, you know, so it's great. Thank you so much for chiming in with that. Anybody else that has a contribution to that?
You'll have to unmute your mic, please. Irene, you unmute your mic. Did you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say that there is something so natural that God has given everybody equal. That is time. Everybody have equal time, but it depends on how we use our time. That varies. And I also want to chip in, ask some question. How can we limit our distraction for a day?
I didn't hear you say that again.
I said, how can we limit our distractions for a day?
Perfect. How can we limit our distraction per day? It's okay to say no, first of all. Having people calling you on your phone, having people seeking for your attention, it's okay. So like somebody will call you on the phone, it's okay to mute them or tell them, hey, can I call you back? I know that maybe, okay, you can listen to them and say, is this thing of something that you need my time right away? If they don't need your time right away, it's okay to tell them, I'll call you later. You know, that limits your distraction. If your phone is ringing and if you are at a place where you cannot answer your phone, please turn it off then. You know, that limits that distraction. If you are having a seminar and things around you will distract you, you know, go to a quiet, control your environment. That all helps to limit your distraction, and that can give you productivity at the end of the day. Any other question?
Yes. How can we actually control our professional time and our normal time? That's our professional life time and our normal time.
Our normal time, you mean, right?
Yeah.
How can we control our normal time? You have the ability to control everything, you know, unless things that is beyond your reach. If you have 12 hours, you have the ability to manage whatever you've put down on your calendar. Time you cannot control, but you'll be able to, you have the ability to schedule and say, I want to do this at this certain specific time. The time can pass by, and if you did not complete that task, you wouldn't have that time, the same time again. It might be the next day, but the next day, that whole entire day has gone, it's passed, you know? So if you prioritize and write things down, it's best key. You know, you can go back to your checklist and say, hey, did I complete this XYZ? Did I pick up the kids? Did I cook? Did I clean? Did I, complete the deadline? It's the key to life. Time is of the essence. If we don't prioritize, if we don't set deadlines, if we don't, say no to certain things in life, we wouldn't be successful. You know, like you rightfully said, God has given us everybody the same time, but it's up to you to utilize your time wisely, you know? So all that contribute to our time. Any other question?
No.
Thank you so much. Anybody else?
It's 4 now, so we're going to wrap up.
Okay. So I want to encourage every one of us that today, use your time very, very wisely, because we don't have enough time for us specifically. We don't have time to do certain things that you know of important, prioritize it. Make sure that, okay, if I have a big engagement coming up, put that first. Everything else comes second to that, okay? So we have to know how to prioritize. We have to know how to say no. We need to know how to, limit certain things in our life so we can get more time for us. At the end of the day, if you don't have good time for you, you wouldn't be able to help others. So put yourself first, and then if you're in good health, we're stress-free, because remember, the time that we don't have can lead to stress, can lead to different things in our life. Even if it gets to the health aspect of life, it can do something really bad to you. So we need to know how to say no in life. We need to know how to set goals and let goals be achieved and goals to become profitable for us. That's what I have for you guys. I'm really grateful for you guys coming today to listen to this. It's definitely of the essence. So we have to make good use of it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you. The floor is now open for questions and comment. Bello was putting something in the chat, and I told him I'm going to open the mic so he could speak, but you have to open it yourself. Unmute yourself, Bello. That's best from your end. All right, you're on mute now, so go ahead. Bello?
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I hear you well. Let me just mute Usman. Go ahead, Bello.
I just want to make a little contribution on time management. As a person, what I do normally is to itemize what I want to do the next day. Mm-hmm. Like Lady P said, she's an entrepreneur. I'm an academician. I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. I have kids to cater for. But what I normally do is, on daily basis, I sleep early. By 9, most of the time, I'm on the bed. And when it is around 4, I'm up. So when it is 4 to 5, I always do 1 hour reading. The urgent things I will attend to within 1 hour, start the household, whatever. Then if I'm to go out of the house, I will not prioritize. Okay, where am I going first? Because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a farmer. So I prioritize all these things. And in the moment it's like 3 p.m., I should be at home to prepare for the family, you understand, and to rest. So 60% of my time is for me. Even in the office, that's what I do. If I have anything doing, I hate distraction. And sometimes, if I want to read, I do go to the library. Those days, I was an active reader, at least minimum of 2 hours per day. People don't even know where I read. I will go and hide myself somewhere. So when they see me, we do the normal gist, but I've utilized my time for that day. I know what I've done for the day. And I always assess myself on a daily basis. What have I learned today? What have I done today? How has today benefited me? So that at the end of the day, the whole day will not be wasted, because our days is like river. You can't touch it twice. It's just once. It can't repeat itself. So time management is key to success. So that's what I want to advise us. Thank you, Lady B.
Thank you so much. Where are you chatting from?
Maiduguri, Nigeria.
Ah, Nigeria.
Thank you.
The land of Onguzi and pounded yam, my favorite. Yeah, it's all about the food.
Nice.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. If anyone else have anything else they want to say, just unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. When we talk about time here, I'm Usman from Sierra Leone. Really, time is a universal something which, like, each and every one of us living on earth has something about it, and it affects everybody. It cuts across, and it's one of the most important natural aspect of life, time. And every successful person on earth can boast of achieving anything is because of the proper and the efficient utilization of time. Because you are giving yourself, working hard, and you gauge yourself to achieve each and everything to make money is because of you utilize your time. So this discussion today is one of the most important one ever and the most very important topic that heads every kind of discussion that we ever make on this Zoom platform. Because whosoever that tells you he has succeeded in life is the background, what is behind that is because of the proper and the efficient management of time. Cuts across academicians, entrepreneurs, project managers, everybody in life. That person will tell you that I make good use of my time when I was in college. I make good use of my time when I started business. You give your time, you give yourself. Giving yourself means you've made efficient use of time, failing to give yourself on other people's scheduled time. Right. So the important aspect of giving oneself to achieve something very good and essential to make more money in life, that's my own like common definition of time. It surrounds everybody. That's having the good use of your time. Maybe some people will say this person is behind the success of my life, this person motivates me. But if you have motivation and success in life, you have to give yourself. People can help people from each and every angle in life, but whenever they don't give their own time, you cannot achieve anything. Right. But when you give you make very good use of your time, you take time to at least start up life in every aspect, is because of you make good use of your time, you utilize it. So whatever thing we're talking of here, based on achievement, based on reaching people, based on creating platform for the success of each and everybody in life, boasting of being successful, it's because of proper use and management of time. Success never comes one's way if you never manage your time. So let's have that tradition and fixed up that is because of the proper management of time. I'm not afraid to say it in any platform. Managing your time well, you succeed. Like for us in Sierra Leone, we have that philosophy that time is money. And the other philosophy is that some people will admire you because you succeed. And look at those people who never succeed. We count our successes. Check the background. Because of you don't have time for anybody. You centered yourself, you succeed, like what Lady P was trying to say. You give yourself time, you succeed, then you can help people. And whenever you've succeeded giving yourself in achieving anything cut across, any success in life, or any field you succeeded in life, is because of you give time to yourself, then you make it up, then people will start admiring you. Then being a role model, you teach people how to make good use of their time, then they will They will reach your own height, or some other time they will pass your own height because maybe they added more efficiency to what you've done or what you inspire them to do. So if I can contribute, time is on top of every success in life.
That is very true. Wow. Thank you so much. That's very good. Yeah. Without time, we cannot, move on with life. Without time, we cannot succeed. Time is everything. Time is everything. That's a very good contribution. Anybody else?
Anyone else? Just go ahead and unmute your mic. All right, let me unmute everyone. I think, Catherine, did you unmute your mic? Okay, yes. Go ahead, Catherine.
Yes, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this message because what Lady P said, I have realized that I've missed a lot, honestly. So now I can manage my time and know what to do, put on paper, what to do next and do this. So I thank her so much for saying this. That's all that I can contribute to it. Yeah, I'm so grateful for what she taught us today because I've learned a lot from it, and I'm grateful and thankful. Yeah.
You faded away at the bottom there.
You said?
You faded. Your audio faded. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I am so grateful for the message she brought it to us, because I have not realized how to manage my time properly. So I'm grateful.
Wonderful. I'm happy you were able to learn that, because you definitely have to manage
Oh,
your time
really?
being an ambassador, right?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Go ahead, Lady P.
Ah, okay. That is all maybe. Okay, hold on.
Did I unmute you when I wasn't supposed to?
Hello. I was just trying to get other people to join because it's getting
Okay, I
late.
want you to take a minute, and we're going to get Lady P is the executive director of Penny Makes a Dime. And I just want you to give us a little, I've known her since she started the organization, with her website and being there as a support system for her.
Yes.
And I wanted to let her know today that I'm very proud. I feel like a proud mom. She calls me her elder, and that's when I hang up, because then she started wasting my time. My elder. So she has done remarkable it's been 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. So we've known each other for 5 years, and I've watched her grow her organization. When she first started Penny Make a Dime, I know her brother, and he was like, Lady B, help my sister, help my sister. So I got in touch with her, and I helped her did her website. But not only that, she wanted to learn. She's a learner. And that's what I like about people. I could sit and do everything for you. Like I say, I'm a doer. But for those that want to learn how to do it themselves, they learn better. So I'm very proud of you, what you've done with your organization, how far you've brought it in the 5 years. She's building a hospital in Ghana, which to me is a remarkable task. I mean, unbelievable, a 5-level
Yes.
hospital. And my organization is way far away from that. It's going to be another 10 years before I catch up to her. But definitely, I want to say I'm very proud of you, what you've done with Penny Makes a Dime, and all the children you've been able to help in Africa that was dealing with cancer, and those issues, and also the close contribution. And I think she's also in Cameroon.
Yes.
She's ventured out, but I'll let her tell you just a little bit about what Penny Makes the Dime does.
Well, thank you guys for lending me your ears again. Well, Pennies Make a Dime is a nonprofit organization that we advocate for children with cancer in Africa. Left alone besides cancer, we also enhance their access to education, enhance their access to nutrition, and also making sure that these kids have a sustainable life in future. You know, a lot of times these kids will have, you know, cancer or diagnosed with cancer, and if they don't have the right support, they're not able to move forward in life. Their life for some reason will be cut short because they don't have the financial support, because they don't have the proper nutrition, because even if they, by God's grace, if they are able to move forward in life, they're not able to have the academical strength to move on. Therefore, Pennies Make a Dime is there to advocate for these children. Recently, we just, got a new case of the boy called Joseph. He has been sent to India for treatment. So we are doing our very best to do a fundraiser for this boy to be able to, you know, go through that treatment. He recently completed his biopsy, and with Pennies Make a Dime support, we able to, you know, send them financial support, pay for medical bills and nutritional support and all that. Without our support and our donors, we're not able to do anything. We cannot complete our tasks. Pennies Make a Dime is also into education. Each year, we give scholarships to students. Last year, we gave out 2 scholarships to 2 high school students going to college for the first year. So we have all that information on our website. Like I said before, if you do know anybody out there that is, you know, going to college as a first year students, let them check our website. We have that information on there. We also do clothes drive. Clothes drive, we send, name it, and we will send it there. So far as there's a need for those clothes, so far as the clothes will not be misused by people that will sell it, we do have country directors that make sure that these clothes are located to the right places. We recently shipped 3 barrels of clothes to Cameroon to give it to the village, the people that really, really needs it. We send that. And we also partnered up with another organization called FedFed, and they provided food and, you know, clothing, and provided food and other PPDs, the essential things, protective gears during this time of Corona, because we know that if we don't protect ourselves, we wouldn't have that life to live to help other people. We, like Lady B Bless rightfully said, we're building a hospital, and this hospital, I'm just so glad about it whenever I talk about it, because it just touches my heart. We went to Ghana last year through our mission trip, and with our mission trip, we did a healthcare seminar. It's just unfortunate that people are dying, people are losing their life because of common little things, somebody who cannot check their blood pressure, they don't have the money to, move on to go to the hospital, they don't have the necessary equipment or the necessary tools or even money, even the support, the support system, so they can get their life checked. They don't have that. So with our nonprofit, we were able to, by God's grace, I should say, because it's not my strength, we were able to feed almost 500 people, from through the health fair. We were able to distribute hygiene kits, 500 hygiene kits to the people over there that needs it. We gave our clothes, we gave our medications, a lot of things. And it was just unfortunate that we had to come back, because there's so much that we can do, and it was such a little time. That's why time is of essence. If you do get that time, use it wisely. I know that there's so many people that, wish they can do, certain things. If you want to change your life, the Be Blessed has a great foundation. You can tap into her. She will, a little thing can make a big difference. That's why organization is called Pennies Make a Dime. Every drop of water will make a mighty ocean. That is what our organization stands for. So we are there for the community, anybody that needs help. Even this time of Corona, we just recently, distributed, or we should say, we are going to distribute 500 facial masks to an orphanage that needs it. Hand sanitizers, gloves, food, a whole lot. So check out our website. You can also make a contribution if it's in your power to do that. Certainly do that. We'll be more than happy, because that donation goes a long way to save a life. That's what our organization stands for. Pennies Make a Dime, curing cancer with 1 penny at a time. And we're doing it.
Yay. Thank you. Like I said, I'm very proud of your work, definitely, and continue doing it. Continue finding the strength and the time to continue serving the people. And that's all it is. Service to the people. And that's the most important work you could do. Find the time to service those in need and those around you that cannot do it for themselves. So anyone else, any other questions or any announcement they would like to make? Just go ahead and unmute yourself, and we're gonna wrap up. Usman, go ahead.
I'm so delighted, and I felt very much impressed over what Lady P has said here. Really, their organization is doing extremely well, and so very much powerful. I appreciate her, and I like to tell her very much thanks to to her whole team and what they are doing in Africa and the world at large. I think they are touching a lot of lives, especially lives that needed more opportunities. Their drive is more of very, very, very much positive. But I also like to ask of her extension, for them to extend to deeply sub-Saharan Africa, to Sierra Leone, because I'll start my bidding here. Sierra Leone is much more too vulnerable.
The thing about that is we need to have somebody that will be our director there. So we're working into putting measures in place so we can have directors in place, and we will be shipping things all over. Because we said Africa. So when we say Africa,
really,
Africa,
for sure.
Yeah. So whenever we
I will continue to tap into your website. Then I will be sharing a lot of things.
Yes, follow us on Facebook, Pennies Make a Dime. Follow us on Instagram,
Okay.
Pennies Make a Dime.
Okay.
You can
All
visit
right.
our website,
All
Lady P and Lady BB Bless. I see, put it on the chat group.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
just,
can-
it's in the chat. So if anyone wants, it's in the chat. And I'm gonna say that Usman is approved by the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation. He went through our SDG course, and he's also one of our Sustainable Development Goal ambassadors. So
oh,
those are
that's
the
awesome.
people that I push more,
Yeah.
and the people that I put in the forefronts, because they've already went through the course and they're already familiar with what we, some of our values,
For sure.
our core values. And also, if anyone is interested, he will be doing a presentation here on Friday. I
On
think it's
Friday. Yeah.
on Friday about COVID-19 and the impact it had on SDG number 1, no poverty. So that's going to be a
Awesome.
good presentation. So
Yeah,
you can
I
look forward
cannot
to
wait.
that. Yeah, I'll send you the link and everything to
Yeah,
it. So it's normally for the SDG ambassadors, but we went ahead to make it public.
that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Anyone
follow
else?
us, and then you can get our updates. We are also on YouTube, so you can follow us on YouTube as well.
They're doing great things.
Okay.
My junior sister.
Yes,
So very
my
much great.
Elder, like Angela. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Zane, who is that?
Footprint of Lady Be Blessed.
Oh, Precious.
Yeah, the footprint of Lady Be Blessed. Lady Be Blessed is doing great job, and
yes.
she has made a lot of powerful ambassadors all over the world now.
Aw.
And Lady P is there. Trust. Lady Be Blessed is doing great things.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let me pat myself on the back. I always pat
Yes,
yourself
you
on the
have
back,
to.
right? We're doing. I mean, it's not easy, but it's well worth it.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, what I want to say here, I went to college. I was doing SDGs as part of a course, but I never had that deep insight of SDGs. But with the provision of Lady Be Blessed SDG Ambassador Learning and Teaching, I really go into in-depth, and I'm even giving lectures to other students, to other workmates over SDGs. I prepare slide and notes over that because of Lady Be Blessed. She made me very too grounded on SDGs. And I reflect back to the Millennium Development Goals because of SDGs. So a big thanks to Lady Be Blessed.
You're absolutely welcome. We graduated about 600 students from my class between June. Between June and January. We had 800 students and about 600 graduated. So, and then I have 195 ambassadors all over Gambia, all the way to Indonesia, Morocco. I think we also have one in Pakistan, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Zambia. So I have
Gambia.
Gambia, yes. Yeah, of course. So Gambia started their own ambassadorship, and also people from Gambia now are holding SDG classes for people in Cameroon. The first class is about to graduate soon. So definitely, I'm an SDG advocate and consultant for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Precious had her hands up. Go ahead, Precious.
I was just saying, like, I was pleased and I'm glad and I'm grateful for the work you guys are doing. That's why I was just saying that.
Thank
you. That's it. Thank you. That's so sweet. You have a beautiful smile.
Thanks.
Precious has a precious smile. I like that.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
So I'm from Nigeria, but I'm currently here in South Africa. I'm studying for a PhD here in South Africa.
Wow, congratulations.
That's awesome.
No, I know you know how to utilize your time, because it's not easy being a PhD candidate. You really have to know time management.
It's not.
So how do you go about that, utilizing your time?
With me, being a PhD student, I really don't have a time to sleep and a time to wake up. I just know that I have to sleep at least within the 24 hours. I have to sleep. So if I have a list of things that I'm supposed to do, I just keep doing them, because sometimes I could allocate 1 hour to studying, and then by 1 hour I've only covered less than a page because I had to go through more research and all of that. So for me, I I just focus on the milestones I have rather than the time limit I have for them.
Ah, that's a good
Okay.
one.
If that works for you, that's awesome, because if we don't find measures and if we don't set measures in place, if we don't have a system that works for us, we end up deviating from what we know of doing, and then work done will be zero, and then by the close of the day, nothing is done. So that works for you. That's good.
Definitely, because I try to follow okay, I'm going to study for 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I'm not fulfilled with things I've studied. I'm not excited about what I learned, so I just keep going. But what I don't do is I don't prioritize time with people, like time to sit around.
You have to do that.
To have fun.
Right.
I don't do that. I don't.
You know,
So,
but you always have to be busy doing what you need to do. When I pick up
so
the
at the
phone,
top
I'm
of
like,
my
I'm
list
busy.
is
I only
read.
have 10 minutes. What do you need?
Exactly.
It's not rude or anything like that. It's just you prioritizing your time. Your phone ring, hey, I got 10 minutes. What's up?
Yeah.
True. And then so with people, when I do have time for people, I let them know, okay, I'll be meeting you up maybe at 5 p.m. And if it's 5 p.m., if I don't see you, I'm like, okay, where are you? If you don't show up, I'm like, okay, I'm gone.
Yes, because your time is very important for a PhD student.
You see, right.
Need all your
Even to
time.
make it that far,
Yeah.
in the past, you had to prioritize your time to make it to be a PhD candidate. Yes?
Yeah.
So definitely, congratulations. What field are you studying in?
So I'm working on fish parasitology. I'm working with parasites of fish, crustacean parasites of fish. So I'm into aquatic health and water research.
Oh, most definitely. I need your contact.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. We will definitely be in touch with that. Anyone else? No one else? Raise your hands, unmute your mic, open your mouth, say hello, goodbye. We are wrapping up in 4.4 minutes because time is of the essence. Lady P got kids to do,
Bye.
husband to feed,
Yeah,
food to cook.
Yeah, I would also want to probably add, so I also have passion for teenagers. So back home in Nigeria, I also worked with my teenagers from church to the streets of the church to both church teenagers and non-church teenagers. We just everywhere, right? So I also do that, and young people as well. So when I don't do me, I try to focus energy on the next generation, like people who are younger than me. Just being there, listening to them and helping out where I can, and also supporting financially. So sometimes I probably would budget, okay, I probably should leave maybe 10% of my finances for any person who probably needs money for something, because you never know. Yeah.
Always giving away our money. I know that. I know that way.
Yeah.
One
But
day
then
I went on Facebook, I
when
went
all
to the
10% is
inbox.
done,
Yeah.
when all 10% is done, I'm like, okay, sorry guys, nothing. If anyone comes, I'm like, sorry, I can't help you.
I know that way. Yep. So you budget accordingly and whoever you want to help. Anyone else?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Bella, we hear you.
Hi. I just want to thank Lady P and Lady B bless as well. Based on the Lady B SDG ambassador, I'm one of the ambassadors of the experience, the knowledge I from is accomplishing the zero hunger goal, in which I'm now a crop farmer, I'm a vegetable farmer, I farm what I eat, and I eat what I farm. So I just want to thank you for the impact you have made for the SDG.
So you're one of our ambassadors.
Yes.
I don't even recognize the name. I'm sorry because the names are different than I have on my list, my SDG list.
I will private chat you on WhatsApp.
Okay, wonderful. Because I have I'm working with AgriBiz and they're interested in farming. Get in touch with some of the farmers in Nigeria as an extension of the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation. We're now moving into farming and AgriBiz. So definitely give me a private chat because I just donated for seeds and they're bringing like $400 or $500 worth of seeds to Nigeria for the farmers.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and she does cashew farming, mushroom farming, and bee farming. Now the mushroom farming is doing very well in Nigeria, she said, because the climate is good it's dry, so it's good for the mushrooms. So I don't know if you ever thought about mushroom farming. That's something that, you know, a lot of people don't think about. But I'll have her on. I think T. Thompson will be on next week, and she's the CEO of Agribiz, and she has 2 cashew farms in Nigeria already.
All right. That's
So
interesting.
yeah, do me a private chat on that. I could link you to with her. Anyone else?
So Dr. Bello was the one who like gave me access to the link.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I'm also, she had posted it on the Nigerian Women, the NEWAD group page. So that's why I got access to the link.
Oh, wonderful. So you guys add me to that group. I mean, I've been born in Africa, but Africa was born in me. I claim Ghana, but you know, somehow Nigeria just comes and grab me and take me there whenever they feel like it. And they feed me, they banka soup and they unguzi and they pounded yam.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't say no. All right, anyone else before we wrap up? We're 2 minutes over our scheduled time. Friday, we have a presentation by Usman, the impact of COVID-19
COVID-19, yeah.
on SDG 1, no poverty.
One, yeah.
Okay, so I'll send a link out for that. Precious, you could also send me a chat. Have Ms. Bello give you my WhatsApp.
Sure.
And then we could get in touch with that. Anyone else? Lady P, any final words?
Well, let us know how to manage our time wisely, and it'll be beneficial to us.
And on that note, oops, who just popped in? On that note, our time is up, and it was very nice. It was a pleasure. Next week, we have another topic with another fantastic woman on Women Wednesday. So every Wednesday at the same time, I want you guys to meet me right here. I'll put out the flyer tonight on our special guest for next week. And if any of you women would like to be a guest, please let me know also, so we'll make that arrangement. All my days are gone for June, but I'm filling in dates for July now. Because we be so popular.
Yeah, and gradually I'm becoming a woman. Yeah, joining every Wednesday, I'll like that, and I'll becoming a woman.
It's good to know we have African men showing their feminine side. I like that.
For sure, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Women are number one people in my life. Yeah.
Okay. That's right. That is so good to know. I'm looking forward to your presentation on Friday. And next Wednesday, we'll see you right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, same time.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, change your name. Usuman with, well, how do you say that? It's a female term.
Yeah. Yeah, Usmatu.
Okay, Usmatu. Thank you. Bukola, thank you. Everyone that chatted and contributed. Thank you so much. And you guys, everyone is on mute if everyone to say bye.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you for having me, Lady Bless.
Oh, thank you. It was
Bye.
my pleasure. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.